Grammar for Teachers. Okay, so again, we'll be covering the course components, the feed and times, and again, questions and answers at the end. Now, this is me again, so don't bother. Okay, now let's see what the course is. But first, before we go to the components of the course, let's see why Grammar for Teachers. Why should you take this course? What would it add to you as a teacher? Or if you're not a teacher, what would it add for you as a student? Okay. Now, the first thing that this course will provide you is basically confidence while teaching or while using the English language. So if you're a teacher and you have been a little bit wary about using grammar, if you weren't confident a little bit, so this course will hopefully prepare you to be more confident in the classroom and outside the classroom as well. Okay, we also provide practice, and this is one of the components that do not happen in any of the other courses which are related only to grammar. So most of the other courses focus on the grammar, how to provide the structures and so on, but we have added another component which is basically practice. احنا كنا عارفين ان الجرامر مش بس هنديكم الستراكشر ونقول لكم الستراكشر اهي ودي دي البيسكس ودي الادفانس بوينتس وخلاص هنروح. لا, this doesn't happen. we added another component which is basically practice, so you can use the structures we provide into practice so you get more confident when using them again or teaching them again. We also added another component which is basically pronunciation features, وده كان واحدة من المشاكل اللي كانت عند معظم التيتشرز حتى on the CELTA course لما بيدرسوا grammar ما بيبقوش عارفين ايه البرونسيشن فيتشرز اللي هم محتاجين يركزوا عليها او ايه الحاجات اللي ندرسها في الكلاس روم وايه الحاجات اللي ممكن نعمل لها elimination دلوقتي لحد ما نركز عليها مع structure ثانيه. But this is one of the things we added. We also help you to understand English grammar better. وفي الكورس ده احنا ما ركزناش على البيسكس بس، يعني ما ركزناش على البيسك يوسجز اوف tenses and so on. لا، احنا هنركز على البيسكس وعلى الادفانس بوينتس اللي ممكن تكون بتلخبط بعض الناس. ف this is why it's taken some time because it needs a lot of preparation. Okay, now who should benefit from this course? Basically, again, if you are a teacher thinking about CELTA, this will be one of the perfect courses for you because we'll be teaching grammar a lot during CELTA. So this course should work like a reference for you. If you have a structure to teach or anything you're not sure about, you can always go back to the course. Also, if you would like to improve your grammar knowledge in any way, this will also be helpful for you. We also have it for teachers who would like to improve their grammar knowledge. Like if you're a teacher and you think you are not sure about some grammar items, some grammar structures, this is the course for you. And finally, university students. So let's say people who are studying in Alton or art or education, and you would like to get out of the university ready to the market, ready with your grammar knowledge and so on. This is also the course for you. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the components of the course. In the first session, we'll be covering tenses, but in the first session, we'll be focusing on the simple and continuous part. So we'll be talking about present continuous, present simple, present continuous and the present simple in comparison, and some advanced points that will help you be ready for the classroom. In the second session, we'll be focusing again on tenses, but this time the perfect aspect. We'll be looking at past perfect and past simple, present perfect and present perfect continuous, and again a comparison between them and some advanced points. The third session will be having the future in different formations like will, be, going to, present simple, present continuous. Anything that we can use to express future will be in that session. And the fourth session, we have models and semi-models, in which we'll be focusing on all the items you can see, can, could, be able to, and allowed to, all of them. And again, there will be a comparison between their usages, when to use this one, when to use that one, because again, models and semi-models are one of the most confusing parts in English language grammar. Okay, now for the second or the fifth session, we have conditionals. We'll be focusing on different conditionals. We'll be focusing on wish. We'll be focusing on some advanced points related to mixed conditionals sometimes. So This is another session which is also very important for you as a teacher. And then we have reporting, reported speech to be more precise. So we'll be looking or be having a look at different tenses. We'll be looking at having, we'll have a look at different statements that we use to report ideas and information and so on. Okay, and then we have a whole session for articles, determiners, and quantifiers, because again, it's one of the most confusing areas of the English language grammar. We'll be looking at a, and, zero, article, the, some, any, no, none, all of those parts will be focused on. We also have another session for relative clauses and different types of clauses in which we will cover these areas. So we'll have relative pronouns, whose, when, whereby. We'll have additional noun phrases. We'll have other ways of adding information other than relative clauses. And of course, we'll have prepositional phrases, etc. So we'll be covering different phrases plus relative clauses at the same time. And of course, again, for every session, you will find a repeated word, which is basically advanced points in which we cover on the problematic areas and the advanced points that confuse some of the people and some of the teachers. And the final two sessions will be, final 4 sessions. Sorry. So we have adjectives and adverbs. There is a whole session for this part, for this area, in which we'll be focusing on gradable and non-gradable adjectives, participles, and compound adjectives, how to use comparative phrases and clauses. So adverbs to place, direction, frequency, all of these areas will be focused on during this session. Yeah, it was scary. Okay. And then we have adverbial clauses and conjunctions. Okay, well, again, we'll be looking at different conjunctions, clauses, and so on. Offers, suggestions, orders, intentions, etc. So we'll be focusing on everything. Okay, and then we have a whole session related to prepositions. Okay, because again, these can be very problematic for some of the teachers. We'll be looking at prepositions of time, movement, place, between and among, and difference between them, expectations or exceptions, prepositions after verbs, after nouns, 2 and 3 word verbs, and of course, we'll have some advanced points. Okay, and then we have the passive, which is again one of the problematic areas. Okay, we'll look at the passive with different tenses and how to use it. We'll look at positives, like have something done. We'll be looking at some advanced points related to the passive. So what we try to do on this course is to give you a guide, like a reference to most of the grammar structures that you will be using throughout your life as a teacher. This one is a carrier. Come on.